are again with the crew in we're at the Shiraz Indian restaurant in Marae on the last day of the tour.
On the Haka Rongo tour.
Well, Jane, you want to come in?
Yeah, is it
Yeah, just no, it's not too late. Just come in somewhere.
Okay, so I guess I've asked this question before, so maybe to someone I haven't spoken to yet, how did you get started on the journey with these two? How did you end up all the way in New Zealand?
You mean the start? Oh, now how we feel now.
Like, how did it even happen that you came onto the formation and
Yeah.
you came onto the tour?
Oh, how did it ever happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you finally sign up to the formation so you ended up on this tour?
It was a choice. I heard about it. In fact, the formation was already closed, and I feel a bit jealous that you didn't ask me. Because I was so enthusiastic about the tour in 2016. I did the Maori Haka, and was in St. Joel, the Grandmother's Healing Haka, and I heard, and I think, I want to be there. So, and I asked Oyasvin. Yes, I speak Oyasvin, and I said, please can you ask Romania if there is still a place there? And I thought it was closed, but then you came to me 1.5 hours. I remember that moment very well.
I discovered Jasmine and One Mania and the grandmother healing Haka at Aix-les-Bains. They were doing the opening, and I thought, oh, I have to taste that. So I've done a little Haka session a little workshop that you have during this time. So I decided, oh, it's calling. I feel so much joy, so much grounded to the earth. I said, oh, I have to go. So I've done one seminar with you, then I've done a second seminar with you, and then during the second seminar you talk about the tour for 2016, and you were talking about the formation, and it was a calling. It was obvious for me, I have to go to Aotearoa, I have to go to this training formation, because it's 3 years, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. 3 years, it's a time for me to be prepared for my next step. And it was perfect. And it's perfect. So, thank you again.
For me, I discovered Jasmine and Waimania in 2011. And I was in the 6th seminar and 5 grandmother healing Haka. And for me, it was an evidence I would love to go deeper in the teaching, and the formation arrived at the good time for me, because I would like before to go deeper in the world, in the work, in the Haka, in the song, in each what I kept during each seminar, and it was at the good time. So in an evidence when the formation arrived, yes, it's time for me. And going in Aotearoa, for me for the first time in this tour, it's a great joy, and I need to digest many things. And but with all the whānau we created during 3 years together, to go deeply, to have the divine intervention during this trouble, it was really without word.
We are joking about divine intervention because it was part of our last night's presentation. Peter and Beat, they did a musical intervention, and they had divine intervention was the challenges that we experienced on the tour. And it was you know, some things you can plan and some things you can't, especially when you go on Marae. So you can't plan when somebody is leaving this world and dies. So we had this twice happening to us.
Wow.
And on our third Marae, Miti Miti, where we were supposed to go, we couldn't go, so we had to stay on in Mutakaka, which happened that there was the, what is it?
Kaupapa of Tapuai Corporation.
You would have loved that time when it was
Yeah.
beautiful. The
It
trust,
was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
the trust was presenting their work, and they came in with a group, and they were sleeping about 20 people in there too. So we joined each other,
Cool.
which was very special. And then, when we were supposed to go to Te Hapua, just the moment we left Mutakaka Marae, we got the message that we can't go up there because somebody just passed. So for a day we were searching a place to stay. And this group, what touched me so much that they said actually they would go anywhere with us. And they would even sleep in the van on the beach, you know, to that extent. So we just had a meditation on the beach, which was very funny. Yeah, our centerpiece of our meditation altar was the cake box, golden. And we just gave all our energy to that cake and all our energy to our wishes that things will go right. And we got invited to come to Roma Marae, to your Marae.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we stayed at the Roma Marae, Ohaki, and it was just perfect. They were so happy to have us back. But you know, a lot of things happened, and then Fire forgot that she had another group coming in.
So there's a lot of
Divine
converging with
intervention.
other groups.
Yeah, divine.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay, I get it.
So, yeah.
And every time it was a lesson for us. We
Yeah.
always gain more, and we also brought something to the other. It was just amazing to feel it, to live it.
We even went up to the Tangi,
Oh,
to
wow.
Te Hapua. We visited
Oh,
them.
how was that for everybody?
Strong. I think we learned about another meaning about family and how to support and enhance each other's and yeah. It was really touching.
They were, when we arrived, I felt, I'm sorry, I'm talking again, but they were really, you know, sad and caught in this whole feeling of the sadness. And when we arrived, something felt like something broke open towards a perspective. And I think that was very touching for us that we could bring something to them that would help them to continue into the future. And the husband of the wife who died, he was even looking forward to seeing us again.
Oh,
We could feel the difference between when we arrived and when we left. And most people were outside and saying, and it was like, yeah, we are with you, and yeah, there was a connection, and there was a lightness in the place, that something warm all around, really caring, but we were all included, and something open to us. I mean, to us, we are Whanau, due to you, but we are not Maori. So it was really, we were part of it. So it was, wow.
I think
Very touching.
it was also an important point of this tour. It's how we could weave with the people we met, and how it was just incredible how things weave together.
Yes, no, also because I mean it just happened like very naturally, but it wasn't like, of course we had some instruction, but it wasn't like we aim to weave something, we want to create like this or like that. It's more like we had long preparations, thanks to Waimaina Ujasvin, to getting to understand the culture, getting to understand tikanga, getting to understand also many have an energetic understanding of how things naturally weave in the energies when you enter in that mood, where it's there, and that has been done through many group works within those 3 years, many sharings also to have feedbacks on what we experience, to get in touch with what we feel. And so we really arrived, I think they prepared us very well to be able to, in the end, attend to a Tangi, being natural, not faking, like something. And I think thanks to all this preparation before, it could be, like they described, like very, very fine, very natural, very good for everybody.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you also.
I think for me it was a turning point in the learning, because what I find with the whole formation is understanding it's not about doing, it's about being. And in that moment, in the Tangi, I had originally been concerned about what could I possibly bring, and I was in the mind of what could we do. And yet in the process of everything that's being described, it was one of those moments where suddenly I realized that to be of service is to simply be. And that, whether it's letting go of ego or whether it's letting whatever it is happen, it's very, very powerful to just be there with your presence, and that's actually the gift that you bring in that moment, and it was amazing.
I experienced also as a gift to be participate the Tangi, that you see the real Maori people, how they are, but also how they go on with the people who are died or passed. It's I'm happy that they see our presence as a gift as well, especially this kind of things. An exchange is good, and I learn a lot how, when I see this, how we do it in our country, and we do how the Maori people, they really come together, make contact with each other. So that's real, and then you carry each other, and the one who goes. It's a very good feeling.
I would like to share something that I didn't share regarding this Tangi. I was very touched to be there, and I was connected to this woman, and I saw her as it's a mom, it's a sister, it's a daughter, and I was this connection, and I was feeling of my own family, my mother, to be a mother too, to be a sister, to be a daughter, and it was very important for me to be there, because in France, especially in Paris, we have lost the way to grieve, and I could feel how important it is to be all there, to come, to pay respect, but also to have the opportunity to grieve together, to love together, to remember together, to share together, eat together, and that we have fears together as a family, and the family is very, Maori family are very, 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 very our family are a little bit smaller. But to have the opportunity to let go all the tears, but to also to be connected to the joy of who this person brought in our life. And I really, really want to bring back this to my world. I know my mom is getting very old, and one day she will pass away. And I wish to bring, as a family, something of this quality of the inspiration, the spirit of the Tangi to my family.
And also the children. You know, in so many cultures, the children are not allowed. Fear, you know, you're supposed to be afraid of dying. Yeah, no, not allowed anymore. And here they were, in the space, playing, being completely surrounded by it and understanding the cycle of life. And I think that's the most beautiful gift that you can give your children.
Life and death.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we have focused a lot on the Tangi, but it's because it's such a central point, because it's about life and death. Even though yesterday, no, was it yesterday? No, before yesterday, we had Shane come up and we did Maori.
Oh, cool.
Maybe we can share a little bit about that too, you know, how that was for us, because it was surprisingly different than in France.
Absolutely.
And it was the linking of France and New Zealand. We had Rangi and Kingi that did another session with us, but we had also Shane doing a second session with us and bringing what we learned in France over here and connecting with them. So, unless you had another question.
No, yeah, that'd be cool to share about the Marae.
Just to see the evolution from being in Europe, all what we taught, and then coming home to Aotearoa and living and experiencing it.
I just realized now that for me, in France, the Morocco was more linked with a body experience,
Yeah.
like a sport.
Yeah.
Even the sacred was already there, but the sacred was more touchable and present here in Aotearoa. And there was a real link between the body experience and the spiritual experience. So it was more aligned and more clear and precise and more powerful for myself, and I really enjoyed the Morocco.
I found it beautiful doing it on the beach. I think for me there was something really special about doing it with Shane, but also being with the elements. So when you're doing Morocco, you were either on the beach and you could feel the sand in your feet, and there was the wind whistling past, and there was the sea, and there was something, it was an extension of where we were and the energy, and there was more, I don't know, it was more sacred, I think, than in France.
What I loved was the moment when Genevieve, everyone had turns to lead, and it made them really anchor themselves to remember the commands. And I've never ever seen her in this mode, and she was this warrioress, and she was enjoying her voice and her stance, but we couldn't stop laughing because it was really awesome. And I think we saw Shane more playful with the spirit of our group, and that was a real joyful moment for me to see that it was very spiritual, very intense, but very playful. And that made me think of, when we introduced rugby touch in France as another activity for whakawhanaunga, or creating family, or seeing our dynamics. We played, for me, playing touch in the snow was like amazing. Suddenly it was snowing, but then to play touch on the beach in Ahipara, I saw another dimension of our family again. It was another evolution of this aggression. And this
aggression meaning moving forward.
Yeah, I think passion.
Passion. Maybe it was,
Fire.
maybe Aotearoa was activating this passion
The fire.
for everything.
In a fire.
It's softer in the snow.
I just have to let you know that our food is ready.
Alright.
Okay.
I just like to say something about we a lot talking about to play and whānau, the family. So that's for me one of the main point. My main point actually relating why we grew so good together. Why we also why the Tangi was also a big thing, because it's also a whānau story. Because when I think if I would now bring a group of people, visit my family, like visit my father and my sisters and my, it would be like, because in just 2 generations, because in my father's family there was like 22 children, and now my sisters and I will only a few, and they are divorced, my parents. So it's really a bridge, a huge difference coming to your land and to your land both, and having this opportunity to just share. You share with us your family. Your family shares with us their food and their tikanga and their ways, and they just welcome us in their home, their homeland and home house, in their heart. And that's something I think we in Europe really miss, because we put all people into boxes. We put younger ones outside like you said, they're not allowed to participate, and that's something really connecting us back to ancient wisdom of our own, and connecting back to our heart. So that feeling is for me the basic weaving on which everything is happening.
Just think that is a very important point, and it's actually where the formation is coming in strongly from my understanding, is that learning of taking care of this gift. Many people might get the opportunity to experience something like that, but if you want to make it sustain, you have to learn how to care for it and not to abuse it. And how can you know what you're not supposed to do if you don't study it? And I think that's where the formation is taken care of. To study what can I do and what can't I do. And it's not a restriction, it's about how to conduct yourself through life safely. Health and safety on another level.
Please fasten your seatbelt.
Spiritual, moral,
Cultural.
psychological, cultural.
And we've used often that word weaving. So for me, there's really the word connection. It's so much about connection between ourselves, connection with the culture, connection with the teachings, connection with nature. It's all about connecting, but then there's also
in the meditations also
everything, absolutely. And then also the notion of the connection, and then the sacredness, and the spirituality of it all. There's another word I was going to say, but I can't remember. So connection, I think, is
Can we do a karakia for closing?
Ko io nui, ko io roa, ko io te tiki o rangi, ko io te toi ngā rangi. Tukuna mai wainga nui a mātou, whakatau nei mahi. Te mahi hōhaurongo, te mahi tātai hono, ki te hono wairua te whenua, te hono wairua wa tātou nei tupuna. I whāngai a mātou, i awhi mai a mātou, ki te tūkaha, i roto tēnei ao huri, i runga i te huarahi o te tika, te pono me te aroha. He tuturu, whakamaua kia tina,
Tina.
Au nge hui e.
Tai ki.
Haere